So today I would like to tell you guys something about how to know whether to use a present simple or a present continuous. So basically what to do when you need to do one of those present simple versus present continuous assignments. Before you start on the actual assignment, you should always have some information figured out. Um, and that's for any kind of verb tense assignment because this one only has two verb tenses in it. Um, but perhaps in the future you will also have them with all of them in. You will definitely get those actually. Um, and per verb tense that is allowed in the assignment, you need to know what it looks like. So what is the form of it? What the keywords are, because those are always what you're looking for, especially in year 1, 2, and 3. And you need to know what it means when you use it. So basically the form using keywords, which is what we always talk about when we talk about verb tenses. If you're not sure what they are for the present simple and present continuous, then there are videos on this channel that explain those. So they are just about that. So if you know that that's your problem, then please start with those. Those videos are also about the form and how to use them. They'll let you practice it. And that's very important that you can do that before you start mixing them together. So please, if you know that that's your issue, please start there and then come back to this video. For today, we're going to look at an assignment that I found on the internet. I went to the website Ego for You in this case, and I went to exercise 1 about present simple versus present continuous. They've given you an example of what you need to do. They give you a verb and you need to fill in the correct verb form. So sentence number 1 is just an example. We're going to work on sentence number 2 and the rest of this assignment actually. If you catch the drift at some point and you're like, okay, I know what to do now, feel free to leave. What you could also do is pause me, do the assignment first, and then come back and let me explain the answers to you. I'm going to leave that up to you. You can always mix and match these things as well, whatever you think is best. Let's look at the second sentence. I need to look for a clue. So, is there some kind of keyword in there that says, okay, now I know which verb tense to use? Well, I see this here, quiet please. And even though that's not exactly one of our keywords that we can literally use off the list, it does tell me exactly what's going on here. If I'm telling you to be quiet right now, that means I'm trying to do something right now. That means that this part should be the verb tense that we use when we do things at the moment. And lookity look in our overview, that would be our present continuous. I see that the subject is I. That means I need to use am, and I need the ing form of write, which is writing. Mind you, the silent e drops off, right, because silent e's in ing forms disappear. Then I go on to sentence number 2. I find a keyword, and this one's quite a literal one because the word usually means gewoonlijk, and that one is quite often on our lists. In this case, because I did a very short list, it would fall under all words of regularity, alle woorden die regelmatigheid aangeven, and usually does exactly that, right? That means we need to use a present simple here, and the form of the present simple is the stem, or if it's he, she, and it, we need to add the s. As I see that the subject is she, I will make this into walks. Okay. Then let's go on to 4. In 4, I see a keyword that's on our list. That's nice because we like finding those. That makes it a lot easier. But look, I need to look at something right now. That means I'm using my present continuous again. In this case, the subject is she, so I use is, and then my ing form of go. In 5, I find the keyword every Sunday, and that sounds like a regularity, right? Elke zondag, dat is regelmaat. So the stem in this case, because it's subject, is we, so we use go for our present simple, because look, that's where it was in our overview, words of regularity, which is a present simple. Then in 6, I see the keyword often, and often means vaak. So again, that is a word of regularity. So again, I must use my present simple. The subject is he, so I need to use the he form of to go, which is goes. And remember to put that extra e in there because it's one of the spelling exceptions. Then in 7, my keyword is at the moment. At the moment is a different way of saying now, op dit moment. So yeah, now. So we're using our present continuous. are playing. Then in 8, seldom is the word. Seldom means zelden, so it sounds very much like the Dutch word, right? So I'm using a word of regularity here again, so that is the present simple once again. The child is an it or he or she, no matter how you can decide on that for yourself, but usually we say it's an it. That means we need to do the S form again. For cries, that means it becomes cries with IES because of the RY situation there. If you're not sure about that spelling, please watch the video on present simple because I explain it there. Finally, we get to something that I was hoping that would be in here, and it is, and that's questions and negation. Okay, so far all of them were normal sentences, and that means we can use our normal basic forms. The principle is the same, of course, when you do question and negation. First, you need to find a keyword again. So in 9, I see at the moment. Oh yeah, that was a keyword for present continuous. Remember, we already decided on that. That would mean that usually, if the not hadn't been there, I would have written something like I am doing, because that would be the present continuous of to do for the I form. Now, however, I need to add the word not, and when I do that and I see that my finite verb is am, I can just simply add not right there. If this had been a present simple, it would have been a little bit harder, because then maybe I would have to work with things like don't and doesn't. But it's present continuous, so nice and easy. We can do that the special verb way because am is a special verb, remember? It's one of the forms of to be. So basically, when you negate present continuous, just add not, am not doing, and there you go. Let's try the question then in 10. I see the word regularly, regelmatig. So that's a word of regularity again, so I'm using present simple. Now I need to do a present simple question. I see that the verb that I'm using is watch, and watch is a normal verb. It's not on my list of special verbs. That means that usually if it hadn't been a question, the sentence would have been this, but now I need to form a question for it. Normal verbs in the present simple use do or does. In this case, does because the subject is he. And after does, I always use a full verb. So, does he watch the news regularly? And that's the whole thing. So basically, whenever you do an assignment like this, step 1 is to see if there are keywords in the sentence. If you find a keyword, then you know exactly what to do. Occasionally, sometimes you will find them without keywords, and then you have to use the context, and then you use the knowledge that you have right here from the use. But at the moment, it's mostly keywords. Once you figured out which verb tense to use, you think about form. If it's a statement, it's just a basic form. If it's not, if it's a negation or questions, you use anything and everything you know about questions and negation. If you're not sure about that, I've also done a video about that and it's also up on this channel. Isn't that perfect? For now, it's a computer assignment, so I can make it mark wrong answers. It's giving me a commercial, of course. Yay, we got everything right. How unexpected. Um, Okay, if you've watched this video, I'm sure I've also attached an assignment to it. Please try and practice like that. But before you start practicing, always check whether you know this information. If you don't know it, go back to the theory first, then start the assignment, because otherwise there's no point practicing it at all. And then follow the steps, find keywords, think of which verb tense, and then decide on the form. Good luck with that.